Hello all, welcome to the Geeks with Opinions podcast. I'm Matt Cortado, your co-host. He is.
Not gonna make a funnier intro than I did before.
No, you're not.
Caleb Sherman.
Okay. This is our 10th episode of our existing podcast.
Yeah,
That's
we do this
exciting.
live,
Kind of.
and then we don't.
And then we edit
Yeah,
to make you guys think we're good, but we're really not that good.
no.
We've already messed it up 4 times before this, and you know what? We're that good.
Hey, they didn't need to know that.
Hey, we don't lie to our audience.
we don't lie.
This
We
is
don't.
live on the air.
We can't bleep anything here.
No. So this episode is going to be eventually a top 10 movies of 2016, and yes, we are late to the gun.
I
on
mean,
this.
it's only February 2017.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I've seen YouTubers that put it out January 1st.
Well, to our credit, we're not fancy. We don't get into press screenings or any of that crap. We don't have what they call time to watch movies.
Right, we're in college. We're not privileged like these people.
Also, as far as I'm concerned, the Oscars haven't happened yet, so we're still we
Yeah.
made it under the gun.
Like, there's movies that aren't even wide release yet. I don't even think Lion's wide release yet.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay, never mind, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Whatever. But anyways. So this is going to eventually be a top 10 movie of 2016 thing.
Yeah.
But we're going to start with a little news that dropped like a couple days ago or a day ago.
A little nugget.
And it's basically just, reassuring us that DC doesn't know what the crap they're doing. And probably will never know what they're doing. And probably we could run it better than they do. And we don't have business degrees. We're not going for business. We don't care about business. But look, they can't do it. So put someone who can in charge.
Well, okay, what happened?
Oh, sorry. I'm going on a rant already. So, Ben Affleck, as we know, was supposed to be the savior of the DC universe because he was going to direct and star in his Batman standalone movie, as we already know.
Right.
But, according to himself, he is no longer directing it because he says he wants to put his all into the role of Batman.
Well, he said, I think more, I don't know, I'm still sort of not quoting it verbatim, but I think he was saying that he couldn't do everything, that is, write, direct, act, produce at the level that they wanted him to.
Yeah, so Warner Brothers. This dude's an Oscar award-winning director. Well, he's not an Oscar award-winning director. His movie won an Oscar.
I mean, you could still say he's an Oscar winner.
I guess, but he literally starred, directed, and didn't he co-write Fargo?
Fargo.
I'm sorry.
1990s
Good
Coen
Lord.
Brothers movie.
I'm sorry. Good Lord. Argo.
Yeah.
Just add in that. Don't blame me. We've been gone for a while. But, yeah. So, you're telling me this dude that's won an Oscar for this can't do this again?
I mean, the one thing that I would cut him some slack for is that, like, I'm sure he didn't have to spend, like, 3 hours in the gym every day for Argo in the town.
No, he probably actually had to lose weight. But
I mean, if you're playing Batman, you're like a quarter of your day is in the gym. Another quarter is like trying to figure out the right meals, and he would have to direct and act in it. So I mean, I get it, but like he said he was gonna do it, and he seemed fine with it. So
this is my guess. Warner Brothers is panicking for some reason. They think they need to catch up to Marvel. I don't know why they still think that.
Yeah.
But just let the man make a good movie in the
Right.
time that it takes to make a good movie.
I mean, this movie doesn't even have an official release date yet. Like, you don't need it to come out. Like, it would have been completely fine if the movie didn't come out till 2019, you know?
See, that's where I think the problem lies, because I think Ben Affleck, this is speculation obviously, had a problem with the script. Well,
Yeah.
he didn't think it was ready, and they wanted it to be ready, so he said no.
I think there was another report that came out a couple days later that Chris Terrio actually turned in a rewrite.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
which Chris Terrio did write Argo with Ben Affleck, but he also wrote the script for Batman vs Superman. So hard to tell exactly. Maybe I think he's probably their go-to
But the
rewrite
thing is, like,
guy.
I think he's an excellent writer.
Sure.
I think Warner Brothers just doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, there was news before this that The Flash is starting completely over.
Yep.
The Flash movie is just going from day one and just starting everything over.
That one's really interesting because they've lost 2 directors.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many. They're going back to a page 1 rewrite. I would not be shocked if, like, the actors that are signed on, besides the one that's playing Ezra Miller,
yeah.
who's playing the Flash. Like, there's other actors signed on to this movie. I wouldn't blame them if they decide to leave the project because, you know, it's not the same director that they signed on with. It's not the same script that they signed on with. You know, I mean, that movie, I'll be shocked if that movie even happens in the next 5 years.
I would be shocked if this DC universe is still going in the next 5 years.
That's true. I mean, let's look at it this way. So you got Wonder Woman coming out in June.
Sure, she's
And,
a great director.
I mean,
but
let's look at this. If Wonder Woman is good to great,
okay,
then I think that gives the DC movies a pass for it gives them a renewed sense that they can go on for a little bit longer. I think that buys them some time. If Wonder Woman is good,
dude, but Justice League comes out after
I'm just saying, even if Justice League is bad, if Wonder Woman is good, I think they can still push through.
You're saying if Justice League is bad, Wonder Woman will give them room to do more.
Well, if Wonder Woman is good,
so you're saying if Wonder Woman is the only good movie in this universe,
right,
it gives them a reason to keep going.
I mean, for their purposes, sure. I mean, I think that maybe they focus more on the solo movies than the Justice League or, you know, the team up stuff.
Well, let's be real. This is what they're gonna do. Wonder Woman is not gonna be good to great. Let's just be real.
I'm just giving a hypothetical.
Okay,
here.
Warner Brothers doesn't know how to make a movie, apparently. Well, I'm sorry, DC Warner Brothers doesn't know how to make a movie. I don't know why. No one knows. No one does. But let's just be real. Wonder Woman's gonna suck. Justice League is gonna suck. And after they both suck, for some reason they're gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Because these DC fanboys continue to watch their movies. I'm sorry, but if Wonder Woman sucks, I probably won't go see Justice League. Because I'm done.
You know that's not true.
No, I said it last year that I have no faith in this anymore after Suicide Squad.
I understand you cannot have faith in it, but I guarantee you'll go see Justice League.
Dude, I don't know. I really don't know. As of right now, I'm going to say I'm not going to, and maybe I'll go.
Okay,
but
whatever.
I don't know. If Wonder Woman blows, I don't know. I don't know if I can do it.
Okay, but let's just say Wonder Woman is like middle of the road to bad.
Okay.
And then Justice League is middle of the road to bad. What next? I mean, I think the next movie would be Aquaman, right?
Yeah, Aquaman with James Wan.
So that one's got some promise?
I mean, I liked The Conjuring with James Wan, but
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know much about Aquaman, so. And honestly, what's the actor's name? I can't remember.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah, Jason Momoa. Have you ever seen him act? I mean, besides Game of Thrones, where he just kind of grunted and had sex? Exactly.
Well, I haven't really seen him in anything, so.
I wonder why. So, let's just be real.
But I mean, like, how long can this DC film universe go until they have to call it quits?
Well, with your hypothetical, if they're bad to mid-range, kind of like every other movie has been to this point, I say if they're in the range of, if Wonder Woman's in the range of Man of Steel, where I enjoyed that movie, you didn't so much.
Mm-hmm.
If it's in that range, okay, they can keep going to Justice League. And if Justice League is into that mid-range,
either way, Justice League's gonna come out next
whatever.
year. It doesn't.
So if both of those movies are like Man of Steel quality,
sure,
and Aquaman is Man of Steel quality as well, I think they're gonna really have to. I think they already need to start rethinking it, but they're gonna probably have to because I don't think it's gonna make as much money.
I mean, what would it take for them to call it quits? Like, just wrap it up, pack it up. All right, we're done.
If actual DC fanboys start to turn on them.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is going to be if they're going to halt this thing, it's going so fast that they're going to have to stop one movie that's in production.
Yeah.
Like, because you're going to have, like, 2 movies coming out a year, and you're going to have to stop a movie that's in production, right? Whether it's shooting or what. Like, it's going to have to be stopped, like, midway through it because, like we're saying right now, like, Wonder Woman and Justice League are both probably done shooting, and they're in the post-production phase.
Yeah.
And what Aquaman is probably going to start shooting soon, like, Aquaman is probably going to start rolling in before people even know if Wonder Woman's good. So it's like,
yep,
this machine's just going to keep moving. Regardless of whether these movies end up being good or not.
Honestly, let's be real. It's a business, and as long as they make money, they're going to keep making movies.
That's true. Like, if the movies, like, even though, like, obviously Batman vs. Superman could have made more than it did.
Yeah,
but,
a lot more.
If they still make around that much money, they're going to keep making them. I think that's the bottom line. They're gonna Transformers it if they have to.
Oh my God! Don't even say that. Now, if Michael Bay was ever attached to a DC film,
dude,
I would not be in that.
Did you see the fan petition to get Zack Snyder to direct the Batman?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
They really want that.
Apparently.
Do they not realize he can't tell a cohesive story?
Cohesive?
Sorry. Whatever. He can't tell a story.
Yeah, if Zack Snyder says, "All right, I'm gonna direct the Batman," just I mean, that's the time when you lose all faith.
He has literally directed 3 now films in this DC universe?
2.
Well, technically 3 with Justice League coming out.
Oh
right?
yeah.
And 2 of them are.
Yeah, that
arguably
that's the most mind-boggling thing. Why is he still directing their movies?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like, Batman vs. Superman was just not a good movie.
He should have been, like, they should have just parted ways right then and there.
I don't know why they didn't. I don't know if it's like he has a family member in DC. I don't know. I don't get it. But
the only way where I'll do, like, a complete 180 on the Batman is if they get, like, some A-list director, like, I'm talking David Fincher or Denis Villeneuve or George Miller.
You're hilarious right now. Like, you're hilarious.
That's the only. I mean, that's what they're gonna. I mean, that's kind of what they have to do at this point, though.
No, honestly, I don't think it's mainly the directors. Okay, take Zack Snyder aside. David Ayer's a good director, in my opinion.
Okay.
And Patty Jenkins is the one doing Wonder Woman, right?
I don't think David Ayer is the kind of guy that you give a giant blockbuster.
Okay, you could make the argument for that, but I'm just saying he's not a bad director.
Okay.
I think this is way higher up than any director, honestly.
I mean, sure,
like,
but
who the heck put Zack Snyder in charge of 3 films? 3.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know. No one does. No one ever will.
But there are some directors that if they put on Batman, I'll be like, okay, that's interesting.
Well, yeah, obviously,
I mean,
but
who would you, if you could pick anyone, who would be your number 1 choice
for a Batman film?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Dude.
You can't pick anyone that's already directed a Batman film though, so no, like, Christopher Nolan or anything like that.
I wouldn't pick Christopher Nolan again, anyways. It wouldn't fit into this universe.
Sure. But
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
That's hard. I don't know.
You don't know?
Probably I can't say his name, but Villeneuve.
Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah, probably him.
Yeah, I mean, he's an interesting choice, but
I like his style, so.
I think the best choice, far and away, for me, would be David Fincher, even though he would never do
No.
this movie in a million years.
No, he would not.
I mean, his first movie was Alien 3, and he hated it so much he like swore off franchises.
Yeah.
And then he made The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, which is kind of a franchise, but that movie didn't really make a whole lot of money, even though
Right.
I thought it was really good, but it didn't really make a whole lot of money. So, and he just is not a franchise guy, but he did do Gone Girl with Ben Affleck. So maybe there's a
for some
slim chance.
For some reason, I don't know why, but when you said Alien,
Alien 3.
I don't know. I know you said Alien 3, but I'm just thinking Alien now. Ridley Scott. Wouldn't that be interesting? You don't think a Ridley Scott directed Batman movie would be super dark and crazy?
Sure.
I think that'd be interesting to see. I mean,
yeah.
I wouldn't trust it. That'd be great.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be interesting.
Well, I still think I don't know, cause like for me and David Fincher, he's like the king of like the serial killer movies. So he would bring that the detective aspect of Batman, like we've never seen.
That's a good point.
I don't know, but it's not gonna happen. So
Yeah, we should probably stop trashing on DC.
It's probably just gonna be Zack Snyder. So
let's be honest. Zack Snyder's gonna direct every film from here on out because he is their savior. Whatever. DC, you do you. We'll just keep trashing on you. All right, so let's move into a more happy topic. Good movies.
What?
Yeah. And you better believe it that all the DC films are at the bottom of my list.
They are not going to be mentioned.
No, they are not. So we're gonna go
Actually,
into our...
Batman vs Superman is my number one film. Spoiler alert.
You mean like if the list was inverted and like
right.
number 36 was your number one? That's what you mean, right?
Yeah, obviously.
Okay, cool. Anyways, so we're going to go in and just talk about our top 10 movies of the year, but we're going to mention like one or two or maybe three honorable mentions. So you can just do all your honorable mentions right now and talk a little bit about them.
Oh, man. Honorable mentions. Well, if I could do a few here. One of my honorable mentions that just escaped the top 10 here. 10 Cloverfield Lane.
You didn't put that in your top 10. Okay, you do you. Oh,
It-
my God.
It just escaped. It's my number 13.
Wow.
But, it's really good.
It's
They
excellent.
made a really good decision making the Cloverfield franchise like an anthology. And,
Yeah, definitely.
just the performance is really good. I mean, some people thought the ending was too weird, but if you saw the first one,
I mean, the people that said that, you have to expect it.
yeah.
Honestly. Like, that movie was the only movie I've ever watched where it kept me on the edge. I'll just talk about it later. Hold on.
Yeah, I mean that movie. Like the movie was directed by a dude who the last thing he directed was like a short film on YouTube.
That's insane to me.
And I mean, I really good. I guess another one. The Nocturnal Animals I saw.
I didn't
it's
get to
about
see that one.
I hesitate to call it like super weird. Like it's not like super weird, although like the first like 5 minutes of that movie, you're like, what in the HE double hockey sticks am I watching? It is the strangest thing opening to a movie I've seen in quite some time. But I will say it did at the end. By the end, I was like, huh, that was really cool. Michael Shannon is in that movie.
Uh-huh.
I thought he was really good in that. Obviously, Amy Adams is good. She had a pretty good year, I'd say.
Yeah, she got snubbed.
But anyways, there's that one. And my last honorable mention is The Nice Guys.
What? That's not on your list?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, really good, really funny. Probably, maybe the funniest movie of the year. Oh, well,
I
no,
don't know about that.
not for me. But Ryan Gosling was. I mean, you could arguably say he did a better performance in this movie than La La Land. I don't know. I mean, it's debatable.
I'll fight you on that one.
I'm not saying I believe it. I'm just saying it's debatable.
Okay.
The chemistry between him and Russell Crowe was off
it was
the charts.
excellent.
It's a great movie. But yeah, honorable mention.
All right. Well, you completely just blew my mind with your honorable mentions because you took 2 movies that were in my top 10. But my honorable mentions are, my first one is The Founder. I just recently saw this, and it's a slow burning movie, but the performance by Michael Keaton makes you hate McDonald's more than that documentary where that dude ate everything extra large.
Yeah, Super Size
Me. Yeah. This man, if this is really how Ray Kroc was, he was a douche. A mega douche, and it makes me not even want to look at McDonald's. It's awful.
Really?
Yeah, so Michael Keaton did excellent. And okay, I didn't watch Parks and Recreation, but the funny guy, the mustache, I don't remember his name.
Oh, well, in the show, Ron Swanson,
okay,
Nick Offerman.
Yeah, he's excellent in this movie as well.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know he was in that.
Yeah, he's one of the guys that, never mind, I won't spoil it, but it's a really good movie. Just missed the list. My other honorable mention is Doctor Strange.
Oh, yeah, that one, yeah.
Was that on your list or no?
I mean, no, it's not in my top 10, but it was close.
Yeah, this one was close because this is a movie from Marvel. I don't know if it's because I love the movie so much or I just love that Marvel can take these characters that no one knows anything about.
That's true.
Tell a very good story that everyone cares about and want to, I want to see more of Doctor Strange.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I don't know crap about him. I never knew crap about him. He interests me. So I give this to Marvel, I guess. And my last one is a documentary, and it is the one that Leonardo DiCaprio basically produced.
Yeah.
And it's called Before the Flood. This movie is important, and it freaking is scary.
Yeah,
it's
pretty
really
terrifying.
Really just scary.
And it was scary 6 months ago when, there was still some hope.
Yeah, but this movie, from a film standpoint, it's just an excellent documentary. It's put together well, I guess.
That's true. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my honorable mention. So, how do you want to do this top 10?
We could do each do 10 to 8, 10 to 8, then 7 to 5, 7 to 5, and then 4 to 2,
okay,
and then 4 to 2, and then 1 1.
All right. Well, I shall go first then because you talked about one of the films that I was going to do. So, my number 10 film is Deadpool.
I'm just kidding. I don't have it that much different. But.
Oh, okay. Well, Deadpool was a movie that, from the marketing strategy they put in place, I was like, wow, this is best marketing I've ever seen. I did not expect the movie to live up to that marketing.
Yeah.
And it did.
Mm-hmm.
It nailed it. The movie just killed it. It was hilarious. It was entertaining. And it was awesome on a low budget. It was just a fun time. I don't know much about Deadpool, but you do, and you said it was on point to what the character is and who he is. So I'll take your word for it, and I love the movie. And Ryan Reynolds was freaking awesome.
Indeed.
And my number 9 film is 10 Cloverfield Lane. And I cannot believe this did not make your list because...
We're only 4 spots different.
Still, this movie... Number 1, we didn't know about it until a month before the movie even came out.
That's true. They was
kept
crazy.
It so secret. And under all the Star Wars The Force Awakens hype, they just kept it so secret. It just snuck right in there.
It wasn't even they just dropped a trailer online either.
No.
Just the trailer started appearing in theaters, and people were like, what the heck? I haven't heard of this. What is this?
It was crazy. And, I've seen the first Cloverfield, and it was all right, I guess. It was a movie.
It was a movie.
I didn't really like it that much, but for some reason, this movie intrigued me when I saw the trailers. And, dude, I've never been on the edge of my seat for the entire time.
That's true.
This movie was the most thrilling, scary, almost just awesome time at the theater I had the entire year. The whole year. It was awesome. I had so much fun being scared at this whole John Goodman character who was freaking nuts. I almost spoiled something, but it's just a really good film, and I'm surprised it didn't make your top 10, but it's number 9 on my list.
Yes.
So go for your...
Wait, you got to do your 8.
Oh, my 8? Oh, crap. Okay, well, The Nice Guys.
There's the other one.
Yeah, The Nice Guys is my number 8. I'm really shocked this didn't make your... I thought you liked this movie more than I did, but apparently not.
Man, we're only like 3 spots different.
That's true, but still, you snubbed it.
I snubbed it.
Like you said, Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe in this movie. Number 1, when I heard they were cast, I was like, well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think Russell Crowe was a funny guy. I've never seen him in anything funny. But, dang, dude, this movie was awesome. It threw us back to the 70s in Los Angeles. It was freaking awesome. I love the whole vibe of everything in it.
Yes.
So, there you go.
Yes, okay.
Go for it.
Okay. My number 10, you were talking about 10 Cloverfield Lane, how
I
it's
was.
like super suspenseful and stuff.
Yes.
Like, that was like the best part of it. Like,
Yeah.
edge of your seat the whole time. Well, the reason it didn't make a top 10 because there was a movie that did all the suspense stuff better, I think, in Green Room.
I did not see that one.
I'm not even a horror guy. Like, I don't know if I don't even really know if I would consider Green Room like a straight up horror. I mean, it kind of is, but it's interesting. You could kind of compare it with 10 Cloverfield Lane in that you get an actor that in most things you generally like.
Right.
Like John Goodman, he seems like a lovable guy most times. In Green Room, you get Patrick Stewart as a Nazi. So, like, and it is, Green Room is intense, man. Like, it's, I don't think I'm really spoiling anything. It's just, like, this band gets trapped in the green room of this, this club that's run by Nazis, basically.
Yeah.
And something happens, and they sort of get trapped in there. And they have to get out. They have to go through all the Nazis. And,
sounds pretty suspenseful.
And yeah, it is insane. The whole movie is insane. But it was really, really good. I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to. Number 9. This one is interesting. It's Hunt for the Wilder People.
I don't even know what that is.
Directed by Taika Waititi, starring this fat kid and Sam Neill from Jurassic Park.
Oh, okay.
Taika Waititi being the guy he's directed like What We Do in the Shadows, and he's directing Thor Ragnarok.
Interesting.
Yeah. This movie is hilarious. Like, I could not stop laughing through the Sam Neill. Like, why isn't he in more things? This one's hard to describe too, but it's like this kid. He's sort of a foster kid, and he gets a foster family, and he doesn't really want to stay there, so he runs away in the woods, and Sam Neill is his foster dad, and he finds him, and they decide just to hang out in the woods for a bit, and
God.
But then they think back home, they think that Sam Neill's character kidnapped the fat kid, so now they're on the run from the foster agency people, and it's great. It's quirky, it's weird, but it's really good.
Fair enough.
You should watch it. My number 8 film is Deadpool. Where did you have that one?
I did it 10.
10.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So we're talking about some people could say the comic book genre is getting stale, I guess. I wouldn't say that, but if you're talking about after, we've had so many comic book movies in the past just 3 years alone.
Yeah.
And Deadpool like had a fraction of the budget of all those other movies,
Right.
and was one of the best ones.
I'd arguably say 1A, 1B.
Right. I mean, it's so simple, but so good, and I mean,
Yeah.
hard to explain. I mean, I'm one of those people that I've liked Deadpool for a long time. I know I'm a hipster, but I mean, they just completely nailed the character. I mean, when Ryan Reynolds played Deadpool in like the X-Men Origins Wolverine,
Mm-hmm.
there's like the first like 10 minutes, even though he didn't have the right costume, people were like, he could be a pretty good Deadpool, and he pulled it off. I mean, he is probably one of, if not the main reason this movie works, is just like his passion for it, and just his, just going off script and just being, he is the character, and it's crazy. But like, just it's simple yet different, yet hilarious, and action, and makes you care about the characters more than you thought you would.
Definitely, yeah. Seriously.
And I mean, breaking the fourth wall. Not many movies do that as much anymore.
It's risky.
And I mean, they did a really excellent job, I thought, and that's why it was number 8 film.
Well, I agree with that.
You take it away.
I just want to also add that Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool is one of those characters that it's kind of like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
That's true. Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, Robert Downey Jr. as Iron
like,
Man.
Yeah, you can't see anyone else in those positions.
That's true.
And he just absolutely took that character, and I think he was born to play that character.
Seriously, yeah.
He is Deadpool.
I mean, Ryan Reynolds already had a pretty successful career, but like, it's kind of skyrocketed him. I mean, like, he was like the entertainer of the year, I think, something like that.
Yeah, he was always known as the like hot dude in Hollywood that played good in like romantic comedies and but
I mean, he was nominated for a Golden Globe, and I think if the Oscars, I think like Deadpool would have been like, there were 9 films nominated for Best Picture that year. I think the 10th film probably was Deadpool.
I agree with that.
I mean, that's just sort of a testament to, like, the fact that all, like, the people in Hollywood like it as much as they do is sort of a testament to how good it is.
Which is shocking considering they hate
blockbusters, superhero
movies,
hate
all
any
that.
of them. Genre films,
Yeah. So, okay, well, we're off to a good start with this.
Good start. All right.
So, we're doing 7 through 5, right?
7 through 5.
My number 7 film is Hell or High Water.
Ooh, interesting.
I just watched
I've had a very different position from you.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll find out in a minute. But I just watched this recently, and I didn't really know what to expect. I honestly, before I even knew anything about this movie, I thought it was a Western. Just because
it kind of is.
Yeah, that's the thing. It is probably one of the most compelling brother stories I've ever seen.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's like almost it's emotional.
Mm-hmm.
I felt emotional watching this film for some reason.
Yeah.
Because the brothers' relationship is just so realistic.
Yep.
In a sense that I don't really know how to explain it without like giving everything away, but just their little snickers towards each other, but they still loved each other. And gosh, there's like this one line that I don't want to spoil, and I can't spoil it.
Is it with the 2 brothers you're saying?
No, yeah, it's with the 2 brothers, and it's when I can't. Okay, I won't spoil it, but it's just an excellent film, and I love the whole cast from Chris Pine. I think this is Chris Pine's best performance ever.
Yeah,
literally ever. It's just amazing, and Ben Foster was excellent. Everything was great. So, Hell or High Water, number 7 for me. Number 6, Patriots Day. Controversy. Okay, well, this film is something I thought I might enjoy, but I didn't really know because I don't really know much about this director, to be honest. So I just kind of went in with an open mind, and I was pleasantly surprised, obviously, since it's number 6 on my list.
Yeah.
Excuse me. It felt a lot smaller of a movie than I thought it would feel. I thought it would
Okay.
feel like this movie that was just, like, gosh, there was World Trade Center with freaking Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, that's true.
It was awful. And they tried to make this movie into a blockbuster, an emotional blockbuster, and it was just awful. It was a terrible film. And Peter Berg took this Boston Marathon bombing and made it small, and I almost felt like I was from Boston watching it. He made you feel like a part of Boston, and it was just really cool. And Mark Wahlberg got snubbed.
Really?
Should have been nominated.
You think so?
I'm serious. The dude almost made me cry. Not the movie itself. He did.
Huh.
There was one scene where he got so emotional. I've never seen Mark Wahlberg actually act this good. I think it's because he's from Boston. He channeled everything, because this scene almost made me cry.
Is it better than he was in The Departed?
I don't know. That's debatable, because I love The Departed. Departed is one of my favorite films ever. So I don't want to put him up to that standard, but this was probably up there with The Departed with his acting career. So I don't know, but the only reason I didn't cry is because I was with my girlfriend, mom, and dad. That's the only reason.
Your mom and dad? Or...
Yes, my mom and dad.
Okay.
And that's the only reason I didn't cry, because I don't want to seem like a baby, and I was going to be the only one crying. But oh my gosh, this scene almost made me cry. Probably, Harry Potter is the last movie that made me cry. That's embarrassing, but it's true.
I'm not.
So this was close to that emotion.
It's interesting.
So yeah, he got snubbed in my opinion. But and we're going to 5, right?
Yeah. Wasn't that your 5?
That was my 6.
Oh, right.
My number 5 film of the year, Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
What?
Yes, Rogue One. This movie was amazing.
Yes.
I loved it.
Me personally, I love this film. That's an inside joke.
It was a good homage to everything Star Wars stands for, in my opinion. Like, bringing new technology into the world, and just, it was a pure Star Wars war film, and it was almost small, and I liked how it felt small, even though it was a huge film.
The dark tone really makes up for the fact that, I as a grown-up can go and watch a Star Wars movie.
Yes, sure.
And make me feel good about myself.
Yeah, sure. But I really don't have many complaints about this movie. I mean, I've only seen it one time, which is shocking.
One time?
I've literally only seen this movie one time.
You on drugs?
I know. And, I mean, I'm sure I'll love it even more the more I see it, and it could go higher on the list. But as for right now, it's number 5, and I loved it. It's Star Wars.
Star Wars.
It's going to make the top 10.
Nothing but Star Wars.
What he said. Yeah, it's your turn.
It's my turn. Okay. My number 7 film is Kubo and the Two Strings.
Ooh.
My number 1 animated film of the year.
Ooh.
Spoiler alert. I think obviously, just on the surface, like, you're watching this stop motion animated film and you're like, how the heck did they do this?
Yeah. And
I mean, it's pretty incredible. And even during the end credits, they do a little behind the scenes stuff of how they did certain sequences. But, I think one of the best things about this movie is, like, from the very first scene, it gets your attention right away. And it doesn't let go throughout the entire movie. And, like, it seems at the end of the movie, you realize that, some of the twists you should have seen coming. But I didn't really see coming. I think that's sort of a testament to the strength of how the story was told, because it wasn't really propping it up like it was a mystery, but it was sort of like twists and turns, and really sort of, animated films usually have, like, a message,
Yeah.
Especially this year. I think most of the animated films had sort of a message, but
Yeah, definitely.
I think this one was sort of like one of the more deeper ones in terms of it's kind of, I mean, I don't really think it's a spoiler. It's sort of like the message is sort of teaching kids how to deal with loss.
Interesting.
Yeah. And at the end of the movie, you're like, wow,
That's really deep.
and it's pretty deep, yeah. But I mean, it's just a really beautiful looking film and just really entertaining. If you know you're not, oh, I hate animated movies.
They're for children.
They're for children. Blah. And yeah, so that was my number 7. And you had Hell or High Water at what?
7.
Right. I had it at a lot different place.
Yeah, that's 6, didn't you?
It's at 6.
Wow. Wow.
And you didn't even mention Jeff Bridges. I can't believe you didn't mention Jeff Bridges.
I'm sorry. I did say the cast was all excellent. I just didn't. I mean,
even though Jeff Bridges was basically playing Jeff Bridges, he plays Jeff Bridges really well.
Yes, no, he was definitely one of the best parts of that movie. He made me laugh like a ton of times, honestly.
No, one of the things I'll say about this film is, of all the films I've seen this year, I think Hell or High Water has the best chance of becoming a classic film, a film that like you watch like 10, 15, 20 years from now and you're like, wow, that was, and people like do studies on it. And,
I agree with that.
All that sort of thing. It becomes, you watch it in your film history class or whatever. Like,
yeah, I can definitely see this being watched in a film history class.
I mean, it's a simple story. And when you boils down to it, it's just, brothers, robbing banks.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, that's kind of it, but it works for some reason. And I think
it works because of the way they tell the story.
Yeah, and I mean, you didn't mention the end scene was like, whoa.
That was basically where I was getting at. Like, before the end scene happened and what the brothers share with each other.
Yeah,
that
I can see
that
yeah,
scene
I see that. Yeah,
was probably my favorite scene in the whole movie.
It's interesting. Like, not all the characters are quote unquote good people.
I don't think any of them are.
I mean, they don't necessarily do good things.
No.
But you still feel for them and empathize with them, weirdly enough. And I mean, they're just a really well-made film.
I agree.
Number 5. So, like you said, Patriots Day, like Mark Wahlberg almost had you in tears.
Yes.
Right. So that was like the most emotional part of a movie you've seen in a while.
Yes.
How long would you say that moment was?
What do you mean?
Like that scene. With Mark.
That scene was probably about like 3 to 5 minutes long.
Okay. Imagine that emotion, but 2 hours.
I think I know where you're going with this.
My number 5 film is Manchester by the Sea. Basically, watch this movie by yourself.
And just cry in the dark.
Because, like, basically this movie starts sad, and it just gets sadder.
Yep.
I mean, not to say that, like, it's just a relentless. I mean, it is relentless, but I mean, there are some sort of funny moments. There's dark humor. I mean, it feels like you're not watching a movie. You're just watching these people's lives, and like life isn't always, good.
Life is almost never good.
I mean, it's there, and there is a lot more to this movie. That's what you see in the trailers or anything. You think that's where all the, like, you watch the trailer and you're like, all right, I could see how this could be emotional, but no, trust me, it's much worse.
See, like, I'm a sucker for movies that want to make me cry, like Room.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That was probably one of my favorite movies of that year, and I just love emotional movies. So I haven't seen this one, but I'm sure once I see it, it will be like in the top 5, guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean, Room, at least, like, there was, you're feeling good at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, you do feel good at the end of Manchester by the Sea, but it's not like, oh, it's all turned around for the character. I mean, I think it's the main message for this movie is that grief never really goes away, and you just kind of have to deal with it. And
that's really depressing.
Yeah. But it was really good. Casey Affleck was awesome. There's one particular scene between him and Michelle Williams where you're just like, oh my God, I think I've died inside. Like, it's, yeah. But it is really good. It's not one of those Oscar movies where you're like, why did that get nominated? It's not really that good. But
yeah,
it is really good. And you should go see it if you want to cry.
Okay. What number was that?
5.
Oh, so you're done.
Yeah.
So we're on
tier 4, 3, 2.
4-2. All right. I'm going to keep it brief because we're like running out of time here.
Nah.
So, my number 4 film is a film you haven't seen and probably won't see because you hate the director.
I hate him. I just
don't like him.
Okay.
Most of Hollywood doesn't like him. But Hacksaw Ridge. This movie was... It almost felt like 2 different movies, and usually when I say that, that's a bad thing. But in this case, it was an excellent thing. Like the first 2 acts of the movie, first act of the movie is like a romance. Like you're basically falling in love with Andrew Garfield and his girlfriend's character. Okay. I don't remember the actress's name. And you do, because the way Mel Gibson directs these actors and puts the story, it just works, and you're invested in these characters and you care about them. And then war happens. And holy crap. Can Mel Gibson direct some just limb flying off, blood everywhere, just mayhem.
Now, is it Tarantino blood stuff?
No.
Or is it...
It's like guts are flying out, guts dangling from bodies. It's awful. It's like awful. And I was like scared. I can't explain it. If we ever get drafted and have to go to war because World War III is going to happen.
I mean, who knows who it'll be at this point, too. It could be like Australia.
It could be, and it will be. But if that ever happens and we go to war, I hope it's nothing like Hacksaw Ridge. Because this was the scariest war movie I think I've ever seen.
Was it World War II?
Yes.
Okay.
And it was almost... The scene when they go up on the ridge for the first time is right up there with D-Day, with Saving Private Ryan.
No.
For me, it was. I mean, Saving Private Ryan is leaps and bounds a better film.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. But that scene with the Hacksaw Ridge scene, right up there. So intense, so scary, just crazy. It was a great film. I loved it. I don't know if you'll ever watch it, but... I mean, the end kind of falls apart and gets crazy, and then some things happen like that are so stupid that make you want to be like, Mel Gibson, why? What were you doing? But as a whole, the film was really good, and I loved it.
Okay.
And my number 3 film was my most anticipated film besides Star Wars last year.
What?
And it was a musical.
Oh, okay.
And it's La La Land. La La Land is... it holds a very special place in my heart because of one particular person. As many of you might know, I am obsessed with Emma Stone. She is an angel. She is a saint. She's basically perfect. She can do no wrong. I don't care what movie she's in. I don't care if the movie's awful. She was good in it, and you know it. Don't deny it. So,
don't deny.
This movie, I was just... leaps and bounds excited for this movie because I love Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone whenever they're in anything together, even Gangster Squad. Shut up. I know that's a terrible film, but you know what? I loved them in it.
Okay, sure.
Don't even. But anyways, I hate musicals.
Okay, yeah.
This movie, I was smiling through the whole thing. The whole thing.
Yeah.
I loved every single part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything besides the opening act because I hate musicals. But besides that, loved everything. Okay, I'm salivy. But the ending of this movie just basically skyrockets Damien Chazelle for me in the best director ever category because he
Ever?
knows. Yeah, he just knows how to end a
wow.
film perfect.
Yeah, that's
Whiplash
true.
is one of
He
my.
really does.
Whiplash is probably my favorite film in the past. I don't know, 5 years.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
and the way he ends that movie is probably the best ending I've ever seen. And this La La Land ending was right up there with it. I loved the ending of this movie, and I just loved everything about it. So, yeah, that was my number 3
Only
film.
your number 3?
I know, but this next film is just so important to me. My number 2 film was Arrival, and I honestly thought this was going to be another alien is invading the Earth, and they're awful because, you know, aliens are bad for whatever reason. No one knows why. But no, this film was a thinker. You had to think the whole time, and when you actually got it, it just made you realize how important the movie actually was to the world today.
Oh, yeah, man.
In my opinion.
Yeah, no, it totally.
It just shows how when humans work together and stop bickering about stupid crap, we can actually do quite amazing stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was my number 2 film.
Wow. Look at that. Okay. Wait, where are we at? Number 4. My number 4. Rogue One, A Star Wars Story.
Ooh. Spot higher than me.
Ooh. Yes. So where do I start with this one?
It's Star Wars. It's Star
yeah.
Wars.
This movie had an interesting task where it had to match the aesthetic of the original Star Wars while still feeling new, while still like feeling like, you know, a technological sequel to The Force Awakens and the prequels, and then before that the originals.
Yep.
You still have to, they had to give us something new while it still being old.
It was a very difficult task.
Yeah, and Gareth Edwards, I thought he did a really just phenomenal job. I mean, I mean, they did make an effort to make this different, and I think almost in every scenario it worked.
Yes.
You know, like, just from the, I mean, you can debate, like, should they have had an opening crawl, whatever. I mean, you know, 99% of movies don't have an opening crawl. Like, 99% of sequels and prequels don't have an opening crawl.
Yeah,
so,
I didn't really miss the opening crawl that much.
like, you don't, I mean, whatever. You know, and you have these group of characters who are new, but are supposed to be so integral to the plot of the original. I mean, basically, this movie was just filling up A New Hope's greatest plot hole or biggest plot hole.
It literally was.
And I thought it was just so good. I mean, obviously, you know, if a Star Wars movie is coming out in any given year, it's gonna be my most anticipated movie.
Right, exactly.
So it's hard to live up to that hype. But 2 years in a row, they've done it with The Force Awakens and now with Rogue One. I love them both.
Yeah.
And
I just want to add one thing. The thing is, the reason I love that movie so much, Rogue One, is because after I watched Rogue One, I went and watched A New Hope.
Yeah. Oh,
it added so much to that movie.
It improves the
Yeah.
experience. Yeah, for sure. And I mean, just the more it's one of those movies where the more you think about it, the more you appreciate the little things. And
right.
Just I mean, it's kind of the same thing with Force Awakens too. Like something like this, it's so new, you're not really sure what to expect, and it's just, if you know the movie, you watch the movie and like it's just not what you were expecting, but in like a good way.
Yep.
And you're not sure how to process that, but then you stew on it, and you're like, wow, that was really good.
I agree.
And yes, my number 4 film, it was kick A.
It was yes. Indeed.
Number 3 film is Arrival.
Oh.
Directed by Denis Villeneuve. I think I pronounced that right.
You did.
Another one of Amy Adams' performances this year, but she was not nominated.
Snubbed.
So I think that was a snub. Yeah, just this one, a thinker. You said it.
Yep.
But it's one of those movies where it makes you think throughout the movie, and then at the end of the movie, you're thinking about it in a completely different way.
Yes,
than you were.
Exactly. That's why I love this movie so
And
much.
the more you think about it, you're just like, wow, what? It's mind blowing, but not in like the traditional sense, like pulling the rug out from under you kind of thing.
Right.
Like they were setting up what the twist is, the whole movie, and it's one of those things where it makes a whole lot more sense. Everything.
Yes, it's one of those movies. You leave the theater, you're still thinking about it.
Yes.
And you're talking about it with the person you just saw it with, or by yourself. If you went by yourself, you're talking to yourself.
And the more you think about it, the more you talk about it, the more you discover about
exactly. You're just like, me and my girlfriend went to see this, and we just talked the whole way home about that movie, because the way they put the ending, you just have to talk about it. You have to talk about different scenarios and how it could be different.
Yeah.
And it's just awesome, the avenue they took this movie. I loved it. I agree.
My number 2 film.
Whoa. Oh, I think I know what it is. I don't know what it is.
I don't know. I hate to
It's like 1A, 1B, right?
I mean, it is. Yes, that's true. Captain America: Civil War is my number 2. Duck and Cover.
Wow, I'm shocked that your number 1 is what I think it is.
Maybe it's not. Maybe that film that you're thinking is my last film. Like it's my number 47 out of 47.
Oh,
maybe.
I'm sure it is, Sherman. I'm sure.
But let's talk about Captain America: Civil War for a second here.
Let's do it.
How does Marvel do it? That's what I want to know.
Can I just say can I just spoil my number 1?
I'm sure.
Let's just talk about it.
Okay,
right now.
yeah.
Okay, so my number 1 film was Captain America: Civil War, and
Yes.
it's your number 2.
Yes.
You ask how Marvel does it. They do it because it's fun. They
That's
do
true.
it with fun. They literally made this movie so fun.
It's a psychological thriller, and it's fun.
Exactly. They like mixed genres, and they do it so well in every single one of their movies. I just don't know how they do it. They're writing, they're directing, they're producing, they're acting. Everything from top to bottom with Marvel is amazing.
This is such a huge movie. Everything about this movie screams Avengers 3.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, this could have easily been a storyline for Avengers 2, Avengers 3, whatever.
Yep.
And, one of the things I think Marvel does so well is they constantly shift your perspective of things.
Yes, they do.
Like, you think from Avengers 1, the final battle, the Avengers are kicking all sorts of alien butt, they're beating up the bad guys, they're sending them back through the portal, Iron Man floats the nuke back up there, kills all the aliens, woo, we win, oh yay.
Right.
But in this movie, you get that from a completely different perspective, and you're like, this was terrifying for everyone else.
Yeah, they basically humanized it.
Yeah.
Which normally superhero movies they put you in the perspective of the superhero and what they have to deal with. They never humanize them. This humanized superheroes. It was awesome.
And these heroes have to deal with, what they did. Yeah, sure, they saved the world, but at what cost? And, it's like these people with this, and basically, a superpowered military. And, what are they the military? Are they the military for the United States? Are they, like, military for the world? Like, should anyone be in charge of them? Like, should they only go into action when people say they should, or should they just do whatever they want, kind of thing? I mean, it's
I think like the storyline of this, the core story of this was probably the most realistic Marvel movie to date, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because this is how the government would deal with something like this.
Sure.
In my opinion, this is how our government would do that.
I mean, that's kind of what Zack Snyder was going for with Man of Steel. Like, what would happen if an alien, with these kind of powers lived on Earth? But, like, this movie, like you said, it takes that sort of realistic approach, except like it doesn't fool you. Like,
right.
obviously, these characters, they have superpowers. Like they're not normal. Like these are fantastical events, but with a realistic nature to it.
Right. It was an excellent film.
And you even forget, like, this movie had the third incarnation of Spider-Man in the last, like, 15 years, and it made people, like, completely forget about the other two.
Because they got it right.
They got it right.
Because Marvel is Marvel, and they get things right.
I mean, in my opinion, like, I know, like, some people can nitpick this movie. I think in this movie, every decision they made was the right one.
Yeah, seriously. Seriously, though, I mean, this was in my opinion, when I left the theater for the first time seeing it, I literally tried to find a flaw.
Yeah, I know. Yep.
I could not find one, and I still can't to this day.
It's so good.
I've watched it, like, I don't know, 5-6 times now. Still cannot find a flaw.
Yeah. I mean, the crazy thing is, like, there's two directors, Joe and Anthony Russo. Like, the fact is they've directed 2 Marvel movies, and both of them, in my opinion, are the 2 best ones.
Oh, by far. Like, for me, it, like, flip-flops each day. Winter Soldier, Captain America, Civil War. I mean, I can't pick. It's 1A, 1B, like I keep saying. You can't pick one because they're both excellent films.
And they're so different, too, but they're so definitely a Captain America movie.
Right.
It's mind-blowing how they're able to make these movies so good.
I don't get how they took every single character, plus some, and didn't turn this into an Avengers 2.5 or something.
Yeah. Well, it had every right to be Avengers 2.5, but it remained a Captain America movie throughout the entirety.
Like, from a writing standpoint, I have no idea how they accomplished this.
Nope.
They're geniuses. I give them so much props, and this is why it's my number 1 film of the year.
Yes.
Okay, go on with your list.
Oh,
we
right.
Move on. There's another film.
I have another one. So my number 1 film is Suicide Squad.
Oh, I'm sure it is, Sherman. You know what? I'm happy for you that you got that off your chest. That's a great film.
Jai Courtney deserves an Oscar.
No, dude, I think Jared Leto does for his
Jared
tattooed
Leto?
face.
I mean, he went method, man.
He went method.
Oh
my gosh. Can we just talk about... Let's not.
I'm just kidding.
I hate that movie.
It's not my number 1 film.
It's awful.
My number 1 film is La La Land, despite the fact that there seems to be this weird backlash against the movie. I don't know. I mean, I get, like, if you saw it and you're like, yeah, it was good. Like, I get it. Like, it's one of those movies that it's definitely should affect people differently. Like, it'll affect certain groups of people more than it will others. I get it. But, like, there's this weird backlash against... I mean, I guess that sort of happens every year. The Oscar frontrunner usually gets some backlash, like, oh, it's not that good. Or,
I don't get that with this movie.
I mean, for me, like, Whiplash was is one of my favorite movies ever.
Same.
And Damien Chazelle, anything Damien Chazelle was going to direct, I was going to be lined up for front row.
Same.
Like, and then you say Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling are going to be in it, and I'm like, well, I was already in the front row, but I just moved forward 10 feet.
Yeah, seriously.
And then you say it's a musical, but I say Damien Chazelle, so I stay put.
Exactly. That's the only reason. Well, besides, if you take Emma Stone out of this, I wouldn't have stayed put after they said musical.
Okay.
But Damien Chazelle definitely helps because he's so good with music.
I mean, yeah, that's true. These 2 movies, Whiplash and La La Land, are so music heavy.
Yeah.
But in different ways, and it works so well. Like, this movie would not be nearly as good if the songs weren't as good. So, I mean, I guess you could contribute that to the composer. I believe his name is Justin Hurwitz or something like that.
I think you're right.
Who also did the music for Whiplash. But the
choreography of this movie.
The direction, everything.
It literally reminds me, it's probably the only film of recent memory that we'll be able to look back on and say that was how cinema was 90 years ago.
Yeah,
in the 1920s.
It perfectly adapted sort of what those old-fashioned Hollywood movies are.
Yeah.
And it did it in such a good way. And
yeah, because I took a intro to film course or whatever,
sure you did.
and we watched a bunch of stupid old movies. And some of them were good, some of them were bad, but this definitely captured the good in all of old Hollywood. Yep. And you could see some of like the Casablanca things that he put in there.
Yeah.
There's some person did a video of everything he took from old cinema.
Really? Okay.
And it's just endless. The guy knows his film, and he proved
it. In my opinion, Damon Chazelle has catapulted into my top 2 or 3 working directors today.
I think he's my favorite. Right now, he's my favorite.
Yeah, it's hard to anything this guy does, I will be first in line.
Yeah, he literally poops gold.
The thing is, he's like 30 years old.
Yeah, I think he just turned like 37.
No, I'm 30.
Wait, he turned 30? I knew it was his birthday a couple weeks ago, but
I think he's either 30 or 31.
Holy balls!
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Like Ryan Gosling is older than him.
Good lord. There was just a video of him like directing this camera guy while they were like they were doing this quick shots, and he was like moving his arms. It was really cool. But the dude's excellent.
I mean, this movie is it's what it's about what it says it is. It's about, dreamers and like you know what do you have to give up in order to achieve your dreams? Sure. Like can you have everything? Can you, have the girlfriend and the perfect job and all of that? Or do you have to get what you want? Do you have to give up certain things? Or what do you do when faced with those decisions?
It literally plays on every emotion you can think of. The ending scene.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
The ending scene is just. The more I think about it, the more it's one of my favorite ending scenes ever. It's so beautiful.
I mean, and we're talking like just the one sequence where I believe I forget. It was just when they're dancing over like the LA skyline.
Oh gosh.
Like they're tap dance.
I know
the
you're
tap
talking.
dancing
Yeah.
sequence.
I forgot the song though. Gosh.
I think it's like What a Lovely Night or something.
It's
like
a lovely night. Yes. That's it.
Like, just that sequence. You're like, holy crap. How is this so, like, visually entertaining? Like, there wasn't even a whole lot of dialogue.
No, they were just literally tap dancing in front of a probably green screen.
No, that was real.
That was real?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
And they just, I don't even think they really edited the sky that much.
God, I want to live in LA.
I know, right?
But I actually talked to a kid that lived in LA. He tried the whole go out there, do your dream. Yeah, he tried it. He said it was very realistic in the way Emma Stone just failed.
Oh, yeah.
Hardcore.
Sure.
He said, like, going out there trying to meet people, it's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be so lucky. And this basically just captured that in a movie.
I mean, she was doing auditions, and they're just not even paying attention to her.
They're texting. Yeah. There's people interrupting. It was just...
she's crying, and they're just like, yeah, whatever.
It was just an amazing film. I loved every second of it. It was awesome. So,
in summary, DC killed it this year.
DC, you suck. Your comics are probably great. I've never read them. But your movies suck.
You know what's funny? I don't think their combined Rotten Tomato score would still not even be over 50%.
That's not true.
Oh, is it 51?
No, because of this year?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not. No.
I mean, right. 2016, I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. No, it's not. I thought you meant like all together, their entire universe, because like Man of Steel is at 51% or whatever it's at.
Yeah, something like that.
But
I was just saying like Batman vs Superman and Suicide Squad.
But if you like add up Rotten Tomato score of, I think, 2 of the worst Marvel films, and then add all 3 of the DC Universe's movies all together, I guarantee it wouldn't add up to 2 of the worst Marvel
I
movies.
think you're right though, because
I'm serious.
I mean, let's edit this, and I'm gonna actually find out.
I can look right now. I got it up. Oh, just kidding. No, you probably got it up. But seriously though, I really don't think it will, because I think the lowest one is Thor: The Dark World, and it's at like 66% or something like that. It's awful.
Let's find
On
out.
a side note, Rings is at 6%. I will be seeing that this weekend.
Are you really?
No, I'm not seeing that this weekend. Are you crazy?
Okay. I'm just...
When there's A Dog's Purpose out, that's obviously the one I want to go see.
Oh, you mean the one where they drown the dog?
Dude, who doesn't want to see a dog get drowned? Okay, that was dark. I'm sorry. We're editing that out. Goodness gracious.
Okay, The Incredible Hulk was 67%.
Holy balls.
And Thor: The Dark World was 66%.
Hey, I was right.
So adding those two up is 133.
Mm-hmm.
And if you add Man of Steel,
Oh, goodness. What's that, 56%?
I want to say it's 56, but it's 55.
Okay.
55 plus, what is
I think Suicide Squad's at 23.
Is it?
I don't know. I think.
Well, I'm just going to add Batman vs. Superman.
Suicide Squad's at 26%.
Ooh, so that means Batman vs. Superman's like 27, I think. So add
Wow.
27 plus 26 to 55.
Okay, hold on. 26 plus 55.
It's 108.
Okay. That's embarrassing. Good job, DC. You're going to do great things. And I'm honest, I want you to so bad. But goodness gracious, you're not going to. And I know it.
No, they're not.
But that would be it for this Geeks with Opinions special episode 10, Best Films of 2016.
What?
We want to thank you all for listening.
Yeah, we would like to thank our sponsor, Geek Crate.
That's not a thing. And we just totally made that up, but that would have been a good thing to do for my project I have to do. Goodness gracious, why didn't I think of that? You're a genius.
I'm a genius.
Yes.
I stole it from Red Letter Media.
Oh.
I'll show you the video after we're done with this. It's
Okay.
pretty hysterical.
Okay, well, go watch that video, everybody. Apparently, it's hysterical. All right, well, everybody have a just dandy day.
Dandy.
Hug someone, kiss someone, flick them on the nose, and tell them you love them.
Yeah. Let some refugees into your country, the usual.
Let's not get politics in here, okay? Trying to gain followers.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I'm alienating people.
You don't want to do that, Sherman. You don't want
right.
to alienate people.
Yeah, I never want to do that.
This isn't subliminal messaging.
Oh, because illegal aliens. I get it.
Got it.
That was a joke.
Follow us on all our stuff. It's in the description below.
Sure.
I'm pointing, but you guys can't see it. But I'm pointing down. Go down there and get it. That
Get
sounded bad. So why is it every time we... Yeah. Okay. Bye. Have a great day.
Bye.